Hey everybody, what's up? Herblin here with something a little bit different. I was gonna do some Dwarf Fortress video tonight, and then I decided, hey, let's do something new. So I'm doing a review slash some gameplay here of a game from the 7-day roguelike challenge of 2017. Something that just recently ended a couple days ago, where a bunch of people come together. They make a roguelike in 7 days. I'm not generally a big fan of these, make a game in a couple days and do it quickly type scenarios. But I think for a roguelike, that is a good amount of time. I mean, it's 7 days. It's not. I mean, it's rushed, but it's not too rushed. It's not like Ludum Dare where you have like 48 hours or something. And it's a roguelike, so yeah, they have their complexities and their depth, but there's you don't have to usually focus as much on graphics or being user friendly, which I think would tie up a lot of time, which usually does tie up a lot of time for a lot of game developers. So anyways, without going any further with that, Book of Rogue is the first game that I'm going to take a look at. I played through it really briefly just to make sure that I was comfortable with it. And they have actually put in some graphical work. So that's kind of cool. It actually has some nice design work. Like, I really like this logo that they've done here. It looks great. And they've implemented some mouse support, which is really good. Makes it a lot more user-friendly. So, and they had a really interesting idea, I think. So let's just get into this. All right. So we wake up among the dead. Lying among the dead corpses. These giant letters at the beginning, they're kind of hard to read. Lying among the dead corpses of people you used to know, you slowly start to remember who you are. Well, I'm Herblin, and I am, let's say, an elf, and I can pick a class here, so I'm going to go with mage. No, battle mage. So I'm an elven battle mage named Herblin. I wake up amongst the dead corpses. And you can see my little guy here. He has a little breathing animation. Unfortunately, they didn't add any music or anything to this game. They didn't add any real audio. So anything that you hear audio-wise is just added in over in post-production. So we wake up in this basement. From what I understand, there isn't very much going on here. So several dead corpses of people lie on the floor, slowly decomposing. The blood, once fresh, is dried and seeped into the hard earthen floor. Corners of low ceiling are covered with thick, dusty cobwebs. A stairway leads up to the burned valley. So let's go up here. Here's Burned Valley. You can't help but feel terrible at the memory of what happened here. Blackened trees of their decay litters the ground. As you gingerly step around the young and struggling green sprouts, you can smell hints of the disaster as small wafts bring the smoldering smoke smell to your nose. So to the north, you see the dry valley, and to the east, you see the burned valley, which is more of the same. It's kind of set up like an old school mud. If anybody is familiar with old school muds, you know exactly what I'm talking about. With knowing what you see to the east and north in different directions, except that they've added a graphical implementation. All right, so we've got a couple of gray wolves here. And if we do F, we can do fire. Even some little animations. They made this in 7 days, and they had time to do these little animations. So that's, pretty cool, I think. It's a little extra. Makes it a lot nicer. All right, so we cut up those wolves without too much damage. We are still considered fine. Mana is burning, confidently wielding this sickle. And we're wearing an old plain dress. For some reason, I guess I'm wearing a dress. And that's okay. Alright. Ooh, what's that red wolf? Cool. Let's take a few shots of these guys. There are a lot of them now. Okay, that's the pack leader. He's fine in fighting me. He's wounded. We gotta kill this guy. We might die here. Whew. I'm already hurt. This is not good. Okay. Cool thing about roguelikes is, you mostly just walk into things to fight them. I am wielding decisively a brown thorn. I don't know how to re-equip the things in my inventory. There isn't a lot of support for that. So all around you are different shades of green: light green leaves, lush dark green turfs, yellowish green bushes, small plants. You continue further west, what appears to be a burned out valley, or you can go east to the worn trail. So I'm just gonna go with the dry valley off to my west. I don't know what happens if I no, that's I came from that way, didn't I? Oh, what's this? A wolf fur vest. Let's get that. So I guess the only way to really go is to the dry valley. For some reason I thought maybe I came from the south. Did I come from the south? I already don't remember. No, I came from the west. Alright. So it's back off to the east. To the more. Okay. So well, I really don't like these types of letters. I don't like them in anything. But I understand that they're trying to put together kind of like a storybook design, and I really do appreciate that. But it's so hard to read those. So you breathe in the clean, fresh air. As you look around and assess the surroundings, the valley stretches beautifully before you, with small clumps of trees and comfortable padding of grass underneath your feet, adds to the general welcoming feeling here. As you wonder how much longer your luck will last here, you notice the once burned part of the valley further to the west. So we have more green valley to the west and to the east. No difference either way. Let's just take a couple shots at these wolves, because we shouldn't be getting into too many melees right now. Okay. Very lucky. What happens if I just walk back and forth? Do I heal? Doesn't seem to at all. Oh well. So I can't go to the north. That's the edge of the map, I guess. I can only go straight on, keep going east. Alright, so to the east I now see overgrown farmlands. Alright. Ooh, wolves. There are a lot of wolves. I wonder what the backstory is to these wolves, why they're so angry. So we're in overgrown farmland. Strangely, your exploring has taken you to a dead end. The farmlands the farmlands about you seem serene, yet there might be small danger. After peering north, you see a small path to the west. You see a large, unnaturally overgrown bush. See a small path into the west. You see an okay, so we want to go to the... No, that's where we just came from. We just came from the west. I don't see what they were talking about here. So maybe they mean northwest? I don't really understand that. I really want to find that unnaturally large overgrown bush. I mean, that sounds suspicious. We got wolves all over us. Luckily we have some skill in melee as a battle mage. Alright, so the farmlands seem serene, yet there seems to be a small danger. Peering north, you see a small path. Into the west, you see a large, unnaturally overgrown bush. Okay, so maybe I missed something. You've entered what appears to be a series of colorful valleys. This large green valley proves plentiful for all inhabitants. You can continue east-west here, but you feel at such ease that you might stay a little longer. Oh, you know what it was? Maybe this area like healed me or something, because I was quite damaged before. Sorry, I'm just going through a coffee right now. It's like midnight. So, sorry if you hear me just drinking away on coffee, but it is really late and I am exhausted. But I really wanted to play this game. It's so cool. I really like this design idea. Like, that's so neat. Like, I don't know. Like, it's unique. It's definitely got its charm. It's hooked me in. So I'm just going to go to the south and check out these plains, but I don't want to get eaten by that wolf. Ooh, there's a building over here. A rabid gray wolf is dying and fighting me, so I've killed it. So the wind seems to pick up here, adding to the aridness of the plains. Yet you move on. To the east, you can see what was once a prosperous farmhouse, and you can see more plains to the west. So let's check out this farmhouse here. Okay, we've got stairs. I learned that these are actually stairs down. I thought that was a dresser before, and this is a stairway up. Alright. Ooh, we got... looks like rats. And a bunch of cool stuff in here. We've got boots. Let's grab that cutlass. You pick up a cutlass. So now I'm wielding a cutlass. And what's this? Boots? Let's get those. Alright, we can go back down these stairs. Ooh, there's a little cricket or something. Oh, a rabbit. I thought he was a cricket. Alright, so just more weird basements. You've discovered what was probably a tunnel used to hide precious objects and notorious thieves. The passageway is dark, but you can peer south to see that the tunnel continues. So to the north there's a basement, and to the south you see a hidden tunnel. That's cool. So we found some kind of hidden tunnel underneath the farmhouse. The adventure begins. Alright, we killed a bat. Alright, so I just wanted to read the basement one. The damp smell in this room makes your nose twitch like bugs scamper around the unkept rooms. The floor is sticky from moist. I can't quite see that. You notice a chest in the southern corner, faded and rusty black color. Alright, so I think that's what we've already... You know, I think that's what we already looted, the stuff off the ground. I don't actually see any graphics for a chest, so I'm hoping that's that, and there's no secret search function or something I'm missing. So the hidden tunnel seems rather clean, although it's dark. You can see that there is a glimmer of light at the end of this hall. You gingerly foot your way through and hope for the best. Alright, there's lots of monsters coming at us here. Gotta be really careful. Ooh, spiders. I think that's spiders. Yeah, a tiny spider here is eating a bug. Shit. Kind of feel like I'm playing like Space Defenders or something. Like kind of at the top of a chain and just shooting down at targets that are ever moving up. Alright, so the tunnel continues directly south here. You notice a dry wind blowing from the south. You wonder what might have happened. Alright, so you can see the light does indeed lead to the outside. In your rush, you nearly neglect to examine the floor coverings more carefully. Taking a deep breath, you see some tracks of a large animal. So that's a little bit freaky. What the hell is this thing coming at me? Is that a bear? Yeah, that's a bear. He's hurt, he's wounded, dying, and he is dead. So we got a cave bear fur. Is this the end of it? So the north, hidden tunnels, and to the east, old ruins. Right, so this brings me down, so I guess we're going into some kind of a dungeon. Ooh, okay, so we're in a flooded basement. What was up here? An ancient cellar. Sorry, I had to check that out. The walls of this ancient cellar are made of huge grayish stone blocks that were once perfectly joined. Some water trickles in between the blocks, hinting there's water below. No one has tried to plug the holes up, and no other maintenance seems to have been done in quite a long time. At the far end, there's a pool of water in the wooden floor. The floorboards are slippery with green moss, and the ceiling beams are covered with spider webs. So let's go down a level here. Alright, so now we're in a flooded basement that we can go east in. So there appears to be walls in every direction except to the east. Vision is limited to only a couple of feet, but possible to feel a small current in the water. The bottom seems to slope upwards to the east. The only roof that can be seen is water. Okay. So what's going on? Ooh, what the hell are these things? Ghosts? Creepy ass fucking ghosts. And I'm hurt. Please kill it. A woodsman axe? I'm just going to pick that up. I'm not sure if it's... You know what is actually kind of cool? I seem to be wielding the cutlass still, so maybe it just automatically assigns the best weapons for me. Whoa, what the hell are these things? And do I ever heal or level up or anything? So an escape route, this is dug from north to south. The south, the faint sound of water moving can be heard northward. And then in here is a battered escape route. I'm just going to run from those things because there seems to be some cool shit in here. The hell is that thing? The spirit of a mighty warrior greets you with an evil laughter. Yeah, I am fucking out of here. Fuck. Go up the stairs. Get out of here. Come on, just don't look back. Yeah. Alright, so we're back into the plains. You consider that you may have been wrong. That you may have been wrong as you look around you. Barely any vegetation or signs of life or evidence here. You decide to continue further and hope for the best. So to the west there's old ruins, north and south there are plains, and to the east we have rough grasslands. So I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go south. Oh, bunnies. Not crickets, they are in fact bunnies. Come on, they totally kind of look like crickets, but now that I know that they're bunnies, I can see where they're going with that. Some more plains. The eruption of life all around you fills your parched imagination. Ponder over this, for these thoughts can only occur in such desolate places as these plains. So to the east we see a rough plain, and north, south, and west we just have regular plains. Let's go see what a rough plain is. Vegetation is sparse on this hard, uneven ground made of sharp, cornered stones and earth. Only some dark moss, pretty large rocks and boulders piled to the southeast of here. It is possible to walk along the mound to the south and to the east. So to the east we have between brush and boulder. To the south we have a bleak plain. I'm going to go to the east here. Between brush and boulder. The boulders to the south and the brush to the north make life miserable here. Once in a while, brushes grow so close to the boulders. And I can't read because there always seems to be this little bit of text that overlaps here. At the passage, something, must be worn by climbing the boulders themselves. While sometimes these boulders have rolled across the path, there seems to be, and then the futile attempt at penetrating the brush has been made. Both the brush and the boulders look unappealing. No sounds of birds can be heard. Even the insects are still. So if we go to the east, we have rough grasslands. Let's just keep going east. Alright, so we've got rough grasslands. Some bushes dodge, and lots of rocks and holes to hop over. Those elements dominate these rough plains. In the northwest, the bushes become impenetrable. To the southwest is a sinister looking pile of boulders. Well, that's where we're going to go. We got to go see the sinister boulders. That's to the southwest. If I can get down there, I thought. Oh, maybe it was talking about these? Weird. Alright, so I guess we can go east to the rough grasslands or just back where we came from. So obviously we're going to go to the east. More rough grasslands. What's up here? To the west, you see a clearing inside a dense thicket. That seems like the most interesting one. I seem to be picking... I feel like my route is entirely determined on what kind of looks the most interesting as we go. But I guess that's how those kind of things go. Hey, what's this pattern over here, though? Let's check that out real quick. Okay, just a bit of water. Oh, no, that was west. That's the way that we wanted to go. Okay. So this is it? While the outer vegetation of the thicket is rather low and dense, the shrubs here in the center are much higher, reaching for the dim light above. The bare stems seem near the ground level. Oh, so sorry. Near the ground level to allow for passage of any wildlife around here. Large patches of the earth have been overturned, uprooting the vegetation that grew there and creating a clearing in the thicket. So we gotta go back off to the east. Okay. Then north. Let's go north. Fuck it. And we kind of only have the option of north and south again there. Back into rough grasslands. I feel like we're kind of walking along the edge of a map right now. Uh-oh. And I'm just kind of running through this now. I feel lost, like we're not really encountering anything. Here's the abandoned farmhouse that we entered earlier. What happens if we go south to the plains? Ooh, another old ruins. Okay, this must be where we came out before. Maybe we were supposed to fight that ghost. He's fine. I'm hurt. If we fire at him? No, okay, let's get out of here. You are bad. I like that. Just flat out, you are bad. Not like you're hurt, you're dying, just, you know, you're bad. You're just shit at this game. You're bad. Yeah, look at Bunny. I wonder what the story is with that ghost. He seems like a unique character. Maybe that's like the end game goal to kill that guy? I am not too sure. Let's go check out the lush plains to our west. After we kill all these rabbits, of course. Alright, so you find yourself at the foot of a rather high hill. So if we go to the north, there's flowing plains, and then there's plains besides hills. It's all plains. So west, I suppose? Whoa, what the hell are these things? The vast flat plains are broken off here by a rather high hill, rising in the midst of the grass just south of you. Alright, so to the north, there's a rock in the grass, and then we can go east or west to more plains, but what the hell are these things? A kobold robber. Ooh, shit. He is... Okay, I am hurt. Alright, we got him. We managed to get him. Let's just pick up all this stuff, see if there's... like I said, I think this game will, for the most part, put on whatever's best. Though I could be completely wrong there. Whoa, what's up with this guy? This guy doesn't seem to have any interest in fighting me. And I can't shoot at him. Maybe I can shoot at him from this tile? Yeah. Oh, who knows? So to the west is a forgotten trail. That sounds like maybe we're looking for something like that. Let's follow this trail. An ancient trail in the plains to the north. What's north of us? Shallow, marshy part of the river. What if we follow the trail the other way? This is cool. This old trail once ran into the fields surrounded by... that surrounded the keep, but now it has fallen into oblivion. The plains have reclaimed the very ground that it used to run on. Now the trail is cracked and overgrown, making it very hard to follow. So let's just keep following this thing. Okay, this thing is loaded with baddies. So now we're just at an old trail. So there's an ancient stone wall to our north. And the trail west goes to before the gate. So I think we're coming up on some kind of dungeon up ahead. But we are surrounded as fuck right now. Okay. Dead. We got them all. Alright, yeah, so here is a keep. So before the gates, in front of you are the old castle gates, towering high above. Once they always stood open, letting the farmers pass in and out with mere guard to keep watch. Now the gates are firmly shut and no signs of life can be seen. Well, that's not true because I can totally see spiders behind the gates. Walls are covered by smaller plants and vines climbing towards the sky. The bushes have crept up on the wall almost as if they wanted to sneak in and ambush the keep. This is very well written. I'll just say, I just want to say that. Holy shit. I'm hurt. This isn't so good. Can we get out of here? You are bad. Yeah, I'm back to bad. Hey, what's this? Old practice field. Okay, so that's a target or something, I bet. Yeah. What happens if I shoot it? The thorns of the northwest have started to reclaim this old field where once the keep soldiers had their practice ground. What looks like an old archery target lies broken and crumbled on the bare soil that still, after all these years, bears the marks of heavily burdened horse charging after imaginary foes. In the east, the old castle lies silent, still keeping watch on the old land. Like I said, this is really well written. I mean, damn. For a 7-day roguelike challenge game, like, this is quite the story. I really want to go through the old keep. Okay, let's see what we can see in here. I just want to read this and then we'll get out of here. This used to be a small garden in the courtyard surrounded by thick walls. Now the plants have grown savage and they have managed to ruin the walls. It gives some shelter, but it mostly is just a pile of rubble. Among the stones and other vegetation can be heard soft rustling noises as if something is being dragged along the stones. I'm going to guess that's the spiders that are just coming out of the woodwork here. So to the north there's an overgrown stone well. That's probably a dungeon. And south is back out, and to the west is a ruined stable. Can we kill any of these things? It's probably a thing before bad and dying, right? Like, I'm guessing it's dying. Because I can see here that I'm bad. That's my health indicator, but I think I'll have a dying mode before, I die, I hope. The enemies seem to have that. Okay, now I'm just off. Oh shit, I'm dying and I'm dead. Sorry, that went really quick. I seen awful and then I was just dead. So I was trying to kind of take it slow and I really fucked that up. I wanted to see what was ahead there. That is a really interesting game. I'm going to have to try that out a little bit more and see where I can get with that. That's really challenging. I'm not going to lie, it definitely doesn't feel entirely fleshed out. Like at all. Really, there seems to be a lot of content lacking. Like there's this really cool system at the beginning of the game where you're picking your stats and you can really customize your character there. I think I just picked a pre-made character, but I'm fairly certain you could customly type in your own type of class. I just didn't do that. But I don't think there was a way to level up, though I could be missing a lot in this game. There could be a lot more to it than I know. There could be other controls. But that feels like a little bit lacking there. There's a lot of challenge, which is great. But leveling up and doing a little bit of a grind to go into some of these harder areas would be great. Or I didn't seem to have access to any more than, my firing spell to just shoot. Would have been cool if I had a little bit more use of my inventory. But yeah, you know what? It's a 7-day game. It has a lot of redeeming qualities. Yeah, there are some definite flaws. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But that's a really neat little title. I like that. It's very well written. It looks and plays like a storybook. I like, the bit of graphical work that they've done. I was quite impressed with. I mean, it's free. You might as well try it out. And I'm going to leave a link to that game in the description below. So if you're interested, try it out. Actually, I'm going to leave a link in the description below to all the different 7-day roguelike challenge games, so you guys can kind of browse through them if you're at all interested. I think it's really cool that they've done this, and it seems to be something they've done every year. So I'd like to kind of give a shout out to Rogueliker, who pointed this out to me, this challenge that's going on. And I'll also leave a link to his channel below. He does a lot of cool roguelike things. Definitely worth checking out if you're into these types of games. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you are at all interested, go ahead and check this game out. Like I said, it's completely free. All the games on this challenge are free to play. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to me and you enjoyed the content, go ahead, just subscribe. I'm going to keep trying to put out content like this. I do my best. It's the best way to keep up to date. If I'm doing a live stream or I'm doing something, you can always kind of keep up. And I do my best to promote these indie titles and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me.